It's time for Cup of Red, so let's fill your cup with rad pop culture vibes. And now your over-caffeinated hosts, Mike and Katie. Hi everyone, it's Mike from Cup of Red with
Katie.
And we're coming to you on this blustery, cold, wintry, polar bear fart Arctic wind blowing evening or morning, wherever you're listening from. That's right.
It's cold.
It's cold right now.
So cold. I have 3 layers on my top, and
we got some blustery time going on, so we're holed up with a nice warm beverage to keep us warm whilst we make our way through this intriguing adventure that we have set before us.
Nice cinnamon tea.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this week we're coming back at you. Last month we had done your questions that we had accumulated over the time, things that you listeners had asked us, and we had so many that we needed to break it up. So
yeah, there's a lot of questions actually, so it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, so we're gonna see how many we can get through on today's episode. So today, your question, part 2. So right off the bat, if you can remake a movie and star in it, what would you do?
So this goes back to when I was a kid and I always wanted to star in Dirty Dancing.
I had the time of my life.
Exactly.
Is that the right one?
So I had a dress that was just like Baby's at the end scene too when I was younger, and I loved that dress to death.
Nobody puts Baby in the corner.
Exactly. I just say something and just start spouting off things. But I would do. I don't know if I would I would remake it. Exactly. Just recast myself as Baby, and we relive
who would be your
my
Swayze?
Full fantasy. Swayze. Well, I just want to exist in that movie. I hadn't thought that far ahead. Oh, I have so many options.
Oh, snap.
What about you, Mike?
I want to remake the X-Men so that I can either be Wolverine or the Beast. So I'm going to go for Wolverine because I'm closer to that in height. And I can probably get that build, and I'm Canadian.
And everything that it should
gruff. Be. I can be Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Bub.
Yeah. Oh, I really seriously want to see you as Wolverine.
Hey, Cyclops, you're a dick. See? Boom, addition done right there.
Done. It's right there. We're just going to... I'll take that clip and I'll just send it off to Disney and be like, so you know.
Hey, redhead, I dig it. See? Boom, done.
Which is also true, so okay.
But no, I think that'd be kind of fun. You know, if we're just fantasy doing whatever.
Because I know you want a different cast for Wolverine, someone who fits more with the comics.
Yeah.
And
tiny and hairy, you know, I dig it. So I can play the role. I just need those Hollywood trainers.
Yeah. Just totally jack you up. Yeah.
Because he's silent most of the comics too. He barely talks, so I can do that.
Yeah, and when he does, he's kind of an ass.
Yeah. Lovable though.
That is true.
I'm the best at what I do, and what I do isn't very nice.
Nice. So. See, I'll just take all these clips and just put it together. That'll be good stuff. Mike, what are your top 5 Star Wars characters?
Star Wars. Guess what we're still talking about? Star Wars.
Can't get away from Star Wars.
You know, for me, right off the bat, of course, Vader is one of them. I always loved the look and the vibe and all that, especially from the classic. And then Han and Chewie, and they're just an inseparable duo, a ragtag bunch of smugglers. Mm-hmm. And then Ewoks. And I'm bunching them in as a whole. Hopefully that's not insensitive. Because I don't really have one Ewok in particular. I just like the race of Ewoks.
There's not anyone that really stands out. Of being
Wicket is the main one, right? But besides that.
So Wicket and the Ewoks.
Yeah. And then from there, my love of Rebels, Kanan and Hera.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. For me, for where it stands now, we have also Hera from Rebels. I've always loved Chewie, and I love him even in the new ones. He's been a constant, it's been fun to see his development, quite honestly, with all the different characters he's been working with. Yoda, that's the one thing I love from the prequels.
Yeah.
Is Yoda. And then I really love Rey and Kylo from the new series. I really do. I really enjoyed them more than I honestly kind of expected to. I really appreciate how they have provided such a positivity for myself for the enjoyment of the new movies. So we're going to put those from there.
Nice. Top 5 horror movies.
This is all you. I really have a world. For me, I'm just going to interject. I like the Conjuring world generally. So if it falls in those are kind of my favorites.
Okay.
So,
The Conjuring is up there as one of my favorites just from that whole series standpoint because I love the feeling. And we talked about that in the past episode recently. And then from there, it's diving back into the 80s, the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Freddy.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love even just the fact that the making fun of it with Rick and Morty,
that was
Terry.
hilarious.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch. And the fact that Jess Harnell plays Scary Terry, Wacko,
definitely.
it's just even hilariouser. If that's a word.
I was going to say, I like hilariouser.
Hilariouser. Everything's a little bit hilariouser when you're on cinnamon tea.
Yeah.
Of course, the Halloween series, it just is fun because it's the manic.
At least I don't feel
horror.
bad about The Conjuring when the Halloween encompasses lots of movies. What is your favorite Halloween out of all the series, all the ones that have been made?
Oh, the first one, the original.
I figured so, but I thought
that one for sure is same with Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one is still like my favorite. Nightmare
can't beat the original.
Nightmare Dream Warriors. After that, the third one, I really like that one too. And then The Shining, that one's up there as one of my favorites just because of the ambiance. And it's just the quiet, and the music.
I think for yourself, you've talked before, you have a weird relatability to it as well.
Yeah.
So I think that helps with the creepiness, right?
That. Choosing 5 horror movies is like, sharing a bag of M&Ms. You don't really want to do it, but you have to.
Wow. I've actually never heard you say that before. I learned something new, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it is.
Many years together, and Mike still surprises me.
It's like, well, there's these 5 M&Ms, I guess, are my favorite, but I really just want the bag. Just give me back the bag.
Now I know I could never, ever share those. Well, I guess I can.
So,
anyways.
And then, of course, Evil Dead. Evil Dead is probably my top of all time. The entire series. Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, Army of Darkness, the 3 seasons, and then even the remake. Just there's something about that world, the taunting evil, and just gross out bloody humor.
I think for me too, and even when we first met, that was one thing I would have been able to tell you about yourself.
Yeah. More
than the other horror movies. It was like, no, he likes Evil Dead.
Groovy.
Like that was something you made sure you told me.
Yeah, you primitive screwheads.
Yeah.
This is my boomstick. So that would be a movie to remake. I would.
You should be Ash.
I don't got the chin for it, but I got the attitude. Says most men my age,
right? Yeah.
Everyone's like, I could be Ash. I want to. You notice my choices for what I want to be able to have like something on my arm. I want claws or a chainsaw.
Something of destruction will be in my hand.
So yeah, but those are my.
That's awesome.
And this one here is a good question. This one coming up here because it kind of gives almost a baseline for what we don't like, and it was a hard one because I've tried my best not to remember the ones I don't like.
Well, yeah, the idea of like, okay, so what's a movie you don't like?
Yeah.
And I'm like, a lot of the times too, when we have questions, I'll sit there and like look at our shelf. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do that because if I don't like the movie, I don't own it.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to remember back and be like, okay, there's been movies where I'm like, okay, I've watched it, whatever, take it or leave it. Maybe I don't own it or something, but I don't dislike it.
Yeah. There's been a couple that we haven't reviewed on the podcast since we started, and it's just because there's no sense in bringing that to it. Mm-hmm. We've maybe made our opinion felt and all that, but I don't want to dwell on negativity behind them. But
I guess at the same time, it is good for at some point to let the concept of something that we dislike so that you know what we do like.
That's what I was saying, like that baseline feel, right? So who's going first?
I'll go first. I'll break this Happy little bubble.
We're just going to lose like about 20 of our listeners.
I thought we've mentioned this before, though. But I really did not like Venom. And I don't want to, push too much on it, but I was disappointed with the way that it felt, with the way the character was handled, with the style of the movie, the jokes that were there, the action, the pacing. It could have been better.
Yeah.
And I wish it had been better because I think that character has a lot of cool possibilities, but I just feel like they're just not doing it right and focusing on things that were not as cool as it could be. And
you were bored.
I was bored.
You were on your,
we were both on our phones.
Yeah.
We were both, and I mean, I'm all for like stupid joke humor or action where it's like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Did you see that? That was ridiculous. And it didn't even hit that. It was like, really? That irritated me, right? It wasn't even amusing dumb. It was mind-numbing, boring. And that made me sad, for sure. And I was surprised, but that is a movie that I could think of that I really did not like.
No, hey, it's good.
Yep.
For me, movie 43. It's a little bit oddball one. This one I was excited for because it was like this laundry list of who's who, comedian and directors and all that. And at the end of the day, when watching it, it just felt like it should have been a bunch of YouTube shorts, but instead it got put into a movie. And I think maybe if it had just been a series of YouTube shorts, I may have enjoyed some of those shorts a little bit more.
Maybe would have expected something different.
But you're not barraged by however many in a row of the vulgar, crude,
like I'm watching this
shock jock
yeah.
feel, right? Or where if you just had the 10-minute thing, you could have laughed and enjoyed it. But I remember sitting there and being like, I feel old because I'm not laughing at some of these jokes, right? And so that one there is one that really does bother me is movie 43. Like it was just like, and we even got to see that for free. And I was just like, it was a waste of that free coupon.
Right. So favorite non-Disney animated. We talk about Disney so much, but we actually own a lot of non-Disney animated movies.
Yeah. There's a lot of them on there. For me, the biggest one has got to be Coraline.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's a beautiful film. It's creepy. It's interesting. It's different. It's a modern Alice in Wonderland. I find that it's a beautiful film. From that, here's a flip side of it. I really like the Trolls movie because it is vastly inappropriate.
Yes. It's got a lot of adult humor in it where it's like, really?
Yeah, it's very questionable when you look at some of the things around there. This one I had a hard time answering because there's a lot of, I love animation. So there's a lot of,
it was like this one. Oh, and this one. And
but then I also had my realization. I just thinking about it now. I started thinking mainly just about kids movies because I think anime, because there's not a lot of adult animated.
True.
So something I can add on there would be Dragon Ball Super Broly. I really liked that movie because it was just so fast paced.
Hey, another one is right? Spider-Man into Spider-Verse.
Into Spider-Verse, right? Like
again, because you forgot how much we love that movie. Just so you know, we love that movie. And then for me, Book of Life, I really love that when that came out. It was, again, beautiful. And I love this story behind it. And I love the animation style and the design of the characters.
Where they all look like blocks of wood.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. They look like little dolls, you know, and figurines type thing. And so I really did enjoy that one. And then SpongeBob movie.
The first one.
The first one is freaking
Hey, there's something
hilarious.
To add to go back. I did not like the second SpongeBob movie.
There you go.
I did not like that one. The first one I love.
Yeah.
I love that one.
The first one is just hysterical. I can't. I was so surprised.
She's going to make us men.
On how funny it was because, again,
vastly inappropriate.
And how much of it you could be like, I can completely put this into an adult situation. Like the Sundays and everything was just... It works for kids because it's funny, but you put alcohol in there instead, and it's so true to a point of how what's going on, you know?
Depression.
So that is a fantastic movie.
I'm a goofy goober. Yeah, you're a goofy goober.
We sang that so much after we saw it.
Who's the baby bubble blower in this joint?
So yeah,
that whole David Lee Roth like wizard scene at the end.
Oh my gosh,
the fishnet stockings.
Oh, Patrick was so inappropriately dressed and fabulous. Like that would be an amazing Halloween costume. To do SpongeBob and Patrick like that in the specific costumes, the wizard costumes. Always happening.
Okay.
You be SpongeBob, I'll be Patrick. I know that's the way. I know that's how our relationship is. Like that's who we are.
I'm ready. Hooray!
So yeah, that would definitely be it.
Okay, so favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show or shows from everything would be Friends for me, hands down.
Your ultimate?
Yeah.
Ultimate.
I mean, I know I've mentioned this before, but I mean, I've seen the entire series, every episode, more times than I can count. Yeah. And then I can watch an episode with no sound and still laugh because I can hear the entire soundtrack in my head, exactly how it's delivered, and I'm still amused by it, and I think that's hilarious.
No, that's good.
So
that's a hard one for me. Like, I would say one of my favorites to a certain point was Supernatural, because it was just the idea that it was like,
because it was supernatural stuff.
Well, yeah. Like at the time too, it was not that much supernatural stuff on television.
Yeah, it was totally different.
Like, FX hadn't really been a really showing horror-esque stuff. Your regular, for network TV, it was very edgy when it first came out. Now it's very tame. Yeah. But I do really enjoy that show, like, a lot. But I think favorite shows come and go depending on what you're watching too, right? So there's
where you are in life too. I mean,
yeah,
I think that's one of the things with Friends. Like, I can almost find new meaning for it because I watched it so much when I was younger. Yeah, of having a relationship, of having a marriage now makes a difference too, and now then getting to know the humor for the kid jokes as well. So I find new things with it. Yeah, but it's because it's more of an everyday kind of drama or a sitcom that it's amusing to me. So.
You just go on that, then I'm going to say Gravity Falls is something I can rewatch a whole lot. It's going to be Gravity Falls. Surprise, surprise!
Just so you are aware. So what are we watching now, Mike?
What are we watching right now? Well, we're kind of watching Supernatural. We're
trying to catch up so we could try to watch the last season, but we are failing miserably because we still don't have at least half of 14 watched, not to mention all.
No, we only have 6 episodes left.
Okay. Two-thirds of the way.
So that's not too bad.
We're getting there.
Bob's Burgers is our Sunday night with The Simpsons. We just finished the last season of Big Mouth. Love Big Mouth.
Oh my god.
You dirty little freaks.
Such a good, if you haven't watched that, please go watch it.
Yeah, Big Mouth is hilarious and it's fantastic. We, of course, The Mandalorian. Can't wait for season 2 of that. We started watching The World According to Jeff Goldblum. Then we stopped. The jeans episode really kind of like KO'd us. There was a little too much weirdness.
Yeah, I mean, I learned some interesting things, but it was strange for sure. We watch Grey's Anatomy still. Watch that from the beginning. That one, I'm getting to the point where I will continue watching it and I enjoy it. But if they decide to cancel it, it's just gonna go silently away then, and I'm not gonna cry because it has been so long for it. Yeah, and. I just heard rumors that the character Alex is leaving, which makes me very sad. One of the few left from the beginning, and I really like his character. And so I'm interested to see how that will change the show. And then Riverdale, we watch Riverdale.
Yeah. And Sabrina's coming back, so we'll start that.
Yeah. And then, of course, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, that's been taken up a lot of times, for sure. And we watch SNL, and I watched Dragon Ball with Kiddo. And then we just started, and this is going to become, I think, something we'll be watching frequently is Disney's The Owl House.
Yeah, we watched that this morning.
Yeah. And that was a fantastic cartoon. It's like a Gravity Falls. Surprise, surprise.
Well, it takes the place of like The Star, and then we've been watching Amphibia as well, and that one was really funny. So it was nice to have a new Sunday morning again, because we were done with DuckTales right now too, and... So the Owl House was really enjoyable this morning.
Yeah, so the whole idea is this girl finds the magical world and a witch and her little demon puppy take her in, and they're going to teach her how to be a witch and all that. And she's supposed to be at summer camp, to teach her to be normal and boring and balance checkbooks.
Yeah, she basically has she has to learn that balance between her imagination being overwhelming for everyone around her and still expressing her fun and creative side, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a difficult thing for all children, really. You have to balance that.
Yeah.
Right?
So in Dana Terrence, she worked on Gravity Falls, and Alex Hirsch plays the king. So
which is great.
It just is amazing. And I know that Katie's review of the king is bound to be very similar to a certain child or asset.
You know, it's so funny because you start talking. I was like, by the way, he's adorable.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I heard the sounds when he showed up and started talking, and it was just the...
But you know what's so funny is because then he sounds like Bill, and it's like, oh god, he's evil. Evil incarnate.
The other thing that's kind of cool with the show is that there is a lot of that really weird humor that was part of Gravity Falls.
Well, there was a number of times where it was quite shocking.
Yeah.
Some of the designs were scary, right? I was like, oh my goodness, this is like borderline horror, right? Like, and this got a good message. It went by really quickly. It was fun. I'm very excited to watch the second episode.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. It's on Disney there. The Owl House. It's not on Disney Plus because the first season is on Disney XD.
So, speaking of Doctor Who, who's our favorite Doctor? It's really timey-wimey.
Yeah, it's definitely Tennant.
Yeah.
The 10th Doctor definitely was my favorite. The seasons went by so fast. Yes. It was just so action-packed. It never really felt like there was a lot of downtime to it.
Yeah.
But Matt Smith definitely grew on me a lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah, I was really devastated when we switched and we lost Tennant. Like, I was like,
I think we waited like 3 months before we started watching.
I'm not happening, you know? And then now I was like, I really like Matt Smith. I really enjoyed him. Yeah. And I was devastated when he was going, you know? I was pleasantly surprised by that for sure.
But but at the end of the day, I guess they're all just the Doctor.
Yeah.
And it's just all different. You know, there was that really great line at the end with Matt Smith there where he talked about with his regeneration, and it works so well into thinking of us just as beings as well. Like, we all go through our own regeneration, you know, and those that don't are the ones that maybe don't realize they need to change.
Yeah.
Right. And just because we don't change doesn't mean that it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things he was saying at the end there, is that, you know,
changes should be a natural part of life. You know, as we grow up, we are constantly changing just through sheer physical force of time and the aging aspect. And if our mentality doesn't change, then we're not really experiencing life in a natural order, quite honestly, right? Change is natural.
Yeah. So I really like the show. The 12th Doctor, the first couple episodes we watched, I'm enjoying, actually.
Yeah, I'm interested. It reminds me a bit more of Tennant.
Yeah. Scottish.
He's Scottish, of course. So I'm intrigued to see where it will go. But I, of course, I'm sad because he's lost his dashingness. But
well, you just need to look over
my
when you're on the sofa
crush,
and you'll
see,
see this guy.
But then I got my hot guy next to me, right? So we're good.
What is your favorite thing about Harry Potter? Now, this one here, I'm gonna have to go on the idea that it is the wizarding world, because I don't know if I have a favorite thing about Harry Potter per se. He's got a badass scar.
You know what? Maybe I'll just keep my controversy to myself.
Oh, okay.
Harry Potter is not my favorite part of the wizarding world,
okay.
Though.
That's not that controversial. I was scared we were going to go there. You're like, I'm going to say something controversial in the podcast right now. I'm going to drop a truth bomb on you. Truth
bomb? But no, I mean, he's always been, I think, my least favorite character. When I read the books, too, and the movie, he kind of irritates me. I'm not going to lie. Like, I understand his purpose, and I get a lot of the stuff that he's going through is really horrible and tragic.
Yeah.
But he is obnoxious. So there's my Katie truth bomb for there.
So anyways, what's the favorite thing about the wizarding world? For me, it's the whimsy and magic that envelops you. Yeah. And that whole world that it actually was designed to feel like you yourself could be a part of it and experience it. Mm-hmm. And then especially with going back in with the Fantastic Beasts, the fashion and stuff, I'm like, I'm a wizard.
Totally. You were completely enveloped by Dumbledore's identity from Fantastic Beasts.
And
I love it. So for me, my favorite part of, I kind of thought about this, his favorite thing about being a fan of the Wizarding World.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love the sense of camaraderie and the conversation starter as fans.
Yeah.
I like the concept of identifying as a Slytherin or anything, any house, right?
Yeah.
I love that Kiddo identifies as a Ravenclaw and he really holds on to that. And I love that, you can find out your wand, you can find all these things as if you're really part of it. And then it's just ridiculous fun to be able to share it. I can wear my Slytherin attire that I have, and it sounds funny, but it's no different than like another college that I would have or something, and be like, I did this, and it's a fun way to start a conversation.
Yeah, I always love it when people see that they're like, Mike, are you really a Slytherin? I'm like, I wouldn't rock this if I wasn't. Like,
I'm not choosing to be like this.
The damn test told me, and I'm not going to pose and pick Gryffindor just because it's cool. Sorry if I offended, but
you're definitely
I'm a Ravenclaw.
A Ravenclaw, let's be honest. But
fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, you're definitely that. You depending on your mood, you go between the two houses. Opposed to me, that I know I'm a Slytherin through and through. I'm not going to lie on that one.
I'm a Slitherclaw, as they say.
Yes, exactly. So, but that's what I love about that. So,
no, that's fun. That's what makes it fun, right? That's the whole part in a fandom, is to be able to have a camaraderie behind things, right?
Yeah, and
I think welcomed
really
into groups, and that's what's cool about it. And
I think I like that because there's, opposed to, I like Power Rangers, let's say, and I like this Power Ranger, but if you don't like that Power Ranger, we can't really get along feel, It's like, with that, it doesn't even matter who my favorite character is in the Wizarding World. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like, I identify as I used to be a Hogwarts student.
Yeah.
And it's like, all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, you're cool, you're part of the club.
Yeah.
You don't even have to talk about all. And I think it's just so funny because even as our family, we talk and have had experiences going to like Universal and stuff as if we were alumni from Hogwarts and we're sending Kiddo off to school. And it's just like, when I say it out loud, it's
cray-cray.
Really cray-cray. And I love it, right? So I remember way back when we first brought Kiddo to Universal, we surprised him for his birthday by we made a whole letter from Look Like Hogwarts, and we delivered it. It was adorable. We had this sliding door there in the backyard, and we had Kiddo near it, and Mike went around to the backyard, slunk outside.
My ninja skills,
and he chucked it at the door.
No, I placed it at the door.
No,
I placed it at the door, and then I used those firecracker snapper things that you throw.
Okay, well, I was impressed because it totally looked as if Ninja over here chucked it at the door and it hit the door. I honestly had zero idea, so look at that. He's a magician.
I remember them all screaming, too. I was like, oh my god, what was that?
That would explain it, because here I thought an envelope hit the window and he was throwing firecrackers.
Yeah, I threw it through.
Okay. Apparently you're a wizard, Mike.
I used my wand.
I know, right? And then so Kiddo went over there and it was just like super excited that this owl had dropped this letter off for him, and it was a surprise that we were going to Universal, and it was just adorable. It was, and if it wasn't for that fandom, we wouldn't have had that experience, right?
Exactly.
So, anyway, we got totally rambling on that.
No, it's good.
Stuff.
It's all good. So
next question. Right?
What is the favorite thing to put in your cup of red?
Coffee.
Yeah, it's gonna be coffee.
Yeah. Hands down, if I had to choose a beverage at times.
Yeah.
Coffee, Coke are always good sounding. So
beer is always good sounding.
Yeah, well,
we started doing the podcast more in the mornings, and then we had a harder time doing it, so we moved to night. So then the coffee moved away, and the beer started taking its place.
Yeah.
So then we added tea into that repertoire.
Tea instead, right?
But coffee is my number one thing in my cup of red.
Yeah.
Favorite food? Pizza, dude.
So much pizza.
Totally pizza.
You know what? The other day we were pondering, why does pizza sound good all the time? We see an ad for pizza. It's like, I would have pizza right now. Like literally pizza all the time.
If I didn't have to go places the next day, I'd ordered midnight pizza.
One of these days we really should.
Just midnight pizza.
Panago delivers until 11 o'clock or something. Why do we not get after Kiddo goes to bed pizza?
I don't know. We just need to do it. We just need to have a pizza night. We'll live video that one on one of our social medias.
Right? Pizza party with cup of red.
Speaking of that, so is there a series you'd like to see as a show? And I'm assuming that means like a live action show. I'm taking. I would like to see the Ninja Turtles tackle a bit more into maybe a live action, maybe combo suit CG.
Okay.
Because I don't think CG is bad. It's just as long as they look like they did in like the original comic kind of thing, like the small turtles, like not the behemoths we got, like and focus on the ninja. Take the 2012 designs and make them look realistic. And just give me a show like that. I think that's
the problem is they get too worried about realistic as if, like, let's be honest, people. They're still humanoid turtles. Yeah. They're not going to be like the exact proportions as if we took a turtle and anticipated what it would look like if it grew into
that's why I like even like the old original Kevin Eastman stuff or like the 2012 designs where they still look like Ninja Turtles. Not the Bay Turtles that became behemoths with the nostrils and the focus on just getting the basics done. Like you don't need a lot of ornate things on it. Just give me the basic belt.
Well, and I don't understand why they needed to add so much bling to them. Yeah. Like it was like a weird sense of personality without developing the character properly. Right. Yeah. And I think that's what it was.
So that's what I would love to see. I'd love to see the turtles get like a bit of a show where it's focused on the ninja aspect and the like. I just want like a crazy martial arts Ninja Turtle show.
You mean you actually want ninjas?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, imagine that. For me, for a television show, I would love to see the Percy Jackson series and world be put into a TV show because there's so much. Because there's a whole Percy Jackson series and the Heroes of Olympus series, and that rolls. There's just continues on, and they all kind of envelop. There's a pyramid demigods as well, and I think that would be a great way to put them into TV shows because you could have the main storyline, but you could have other filler episodes of other heroes going on, and you could have all those different characters that a movie just won't allow. Yeah, and have better proper character development for them. So I think that would be really cool.
Because Disney has the rights back now that they've
it's like something on there on Disney Plus.
So, Plus would be kind of cool to see it.
Because my biggest thing, too, is I want them to be the proper age. So if they could be having it on Disney Plus, that maybe their demographic could be a little bit different. Yeah. But, I mean, they're supposed to be 12, 13 feel when it first starts out. And because the whole point of the series is that he's leading up to his 16th birthday. It's not when he starts there. Yeah. Because he's got years of quests going on, and it's like, they mess so bad up on the movies.
So you just badly. Want that live action.
But I love that book series so much. So.
Well, you and Kid are reading it right now. We're reading the secondary.
We're in the Heroes of Olympus series now. And that one definitely you wouldn't be able to do on a movie because there's so much going on. And it would just so easily be ruined. Yeah. Because then you have all the Roman demigods and it would just, there's too much. It's hard even contained in a book to really get it. So.
But, well, that would be cool. Yeah. Is Sailor Mars still your favorite?
Yes, actually. I was it sounds funny, I was kind of wavering for a little while. And
after Christmas came, you hated all that Sailor Mars stuff. You're like, I'm out.
No. And, but I was actually enjoying Sailor Jupiter a little bit more, actually. But a lot of it was because they were slowly focusing on all the different sailors, right? Yeah. And, but just recently they had gotten all their power-ups, and I actually got like weirdly emotional with Sailor Mars's power up when she got her Sailor crystal, her Mars crystal, and the whole scene there. I was actually really like moved, and I was like, yeah, no, this is still it. So there's a little bit of heart to heart there for you. I got oddly emotional over my manga there.
Hey, no, that's good.
And then I still like Pluto and everything, and I've been enjoying the legendary ones. The outer planet Sailor Scouts, they refer to themselves as. And but definitely still liking Mars. So.
Nice. Well, I started reading it because I'm curious. You're talking about it and all that, so. Let's see if I read more. Mm-hmm. So,
we got the Eternal edition. So they're big, huge, like coffee table size books.
They're heavy compared to the ones you've been reading.
Well, and they're all like combined. So there's like 3 of them of mine are in one big book, right? And so there's a bit of a different style. But then I'm curious to then see there's some translation differences. And I know you've already asked a few questions if something seemed different to you, and so there's got to be some changes with that. But I thought they were originally going to be more colored, but it's still just really spotty color.
Yeah,
so.
I thought it was full color too, but it was only just the special pages.
Yeah, so it's no different
Just
than the
crisper
other one.
white and better paper.
Yeah, so not the newsprint, but
Have you started watching Sailor Moon?
yes, we have. I've been watching
On Tubi.
Yeah. The dubbed discs are freakishly expensive, so we found it just the original, Japanese with the subtitles, and we've been watching that one, the original animated series. And that's been interesting because it's so much more than the books.
Yeah.
Because like I was so used to the books, like right away, like bam, Sailor Mercury shows up, and with this, it's still Sailor Mars, and there's so many stories that I don't know. Like you have that.
Do you mean Sailor Moon?
Yes, I did.
Because I was like, wait a minute, I haven't seen Mars.
With Sailor Moon, back you have so much of her story of just everyday basis for things, and so it's interesting because I don't know everything what to expect. It's like, okay, I know what's going on with a little bit of the bad guy story, but it's so much slower paced, and so I'm glad that I'm gonna get a taste of both worlds for it for sure. So.
No, that's cool. Do you watch any other anime? Not really, just Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
We've
been having a hard time finding it, right?
Slowly dipping in. I would like to get more English dubs, but the stuff I want to watch seems to be a little more expensive, and I just don't want to pay for another subscription service right now.
Yeah.
We realize that the cost of Netflix and Plus and all that. And I had too many problems just with the free aspect of Funimation and all that. So.
Well, if there was one we could pay that actually would get One Piece, My Hero, and Sailor Moon,
I
think we could try to buy it because then it would have for all of us.
Yeah.
But because mine messes it up and it's not available on it, then and it's a little bit harder. But Kiddo is still just watching Dragon Ball Z now, and
he tried to watch One Piece. And then he's like, you know what? I'd rather just read it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of in the same boat with My Hero. I probably will check out more of the My Hero Academia stuff. I want to see the movie and everything. But yeah, eventually we'll probably break into some other things.
You know what? I would much rather have Kiddo he's wanting to read. And I'm not going to tell him to not read and go watch a show. So why not, right?
I'm going to start Super this week.
Yeah.
So there's maybe once I finish Dragon Ball,
then you'll want something else.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Makes sense. So why don't you watch My Hero Academia?
Well, it's because I haven't really been able to find how to get the English dub free.
Yep, that's really it. Don't want to pay for it.
Because I looked at trying to get the first season, and it's like $50 for 13 episodes. And I'm like, nope. So we'll see what happens going forward. There's probably some way to get it. I'm just not into pirating. I pay for things.
Yeah.
But I read it. I'm all the way up to the last volume that the library had, which was 21.
Which is also why he started reading Sailor Moon, because he doesn't have anything else to read.
Because 22 is not available at the library for My Hero.
Oh, sure. I want to find out what you're talking about, Katie. No, it's just because I need something else to read.
I went to start Bleach, but Bleach 1 has been on hold for 2 months now, waiting for it to come in. So give me some recommendations, and I'll see which ones the library has, and I'll see what I can do. So
there you go.
There we go.
So, Mike, if you could recast anyone in the MCU, who would you recast?
This is funny because there's been some rumors hitting. I think that they should probably look at casting Jeremy Renner. And if we talk about right from the beginning, I still would go with him. There's nothing wrong with his portrayal of Hawkeye. I just don't think it fit the Hawkeye character.
Yeah.
As much as it should have or could have. He's not as charismatic as he should have been. Mm-hmm. But that's also the writing of the MCU.
Yeah.
Right? It really should have just been me, He's
going to be Wolverine and Hawkeye, apparently.
Heck yeah. It should have been cast as me. And
you don't have an implement of destruction on your hand, though, so you can't.
I have a quiver of arrows on my back, so suck it, monkeys. No, you know who I would have cast, actually? You
would have worn more purple in your outfit, that's
I would have been, I would have been like... You're
like, the only way I'm rocking this is if I have purple on me.
There's not enough purple.
Yeah.
And when I walk in, it better play Purple Rain.
Yeah. That's amazing.
No, I would have put... for Hawkeye, I still wish that they'd been able to convince Jensen Ackles a bit more because he was up for the role. He originally wanted to play Captain America and then got a little sad that he didn't get the role, and they offered him Hawkeye, and then it had scheduling conflicts, and then it.
I think that for their, TV show that they want to do, Supernatural's over. I think he should just jump right over, recast as Hawkeye, and run off on a TV show.
Right? That would be cool. I could dig it. I see him, his look and all that. He seems more like a Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And that charismatic kind of, and he also has that angry acting. And
he can be really angry, but he can also be like super happy. And
and I think that would really work, especially if they're trying to do like Fractions, Kate Bishop introduction into that. So
that makes sense.
So the rumors that are pondering but keep getting back and forth is that there's some issues with Renner and some of his personal life problems that have put the Hawkeye Disney Plus show on pause. But then I also saw that Disney's saying, no, that's not true. There's other things. So who knows what's going to happen.
So what are your thoughts on the Batman cast for the new movie?
Until it starts filming and I see costumes, no real judgment. Everyone that's in it is a great actor. So.
And you know what? All honestly, it still only comes down to the story and the design of it.
Yeah.
A good actor can ruin that movie based on the way that the movie's written. It's not only the actor's fault.
No. It's how it's also the producers.
Yes, let's be honest. It's the big guys in the suits that come in and just make stupid decisions.
It's Pitch Storm, but in real life when it comes to it, right? It's like, what if this movie had more, sparkle? Look at Batman and Robin and look at Batman Forever, right? What if we had more neon?
What if we had more things nipples? Glowed? And I was just going to say, what if we had more nipples? But what if more things glowed? What if we added more black lights?
Yep.
Yeah, that Pitchstorm movie gives you a whole new sense, or Pitchstorm game, whole new sense of how movies could be made. You're like, yep, I think this is what I envision actually happens.
Yeah.
So
what's kind of scary is I honestly think there's probably producers that just have that deck and they're just like, this is a good idea. Especially with the fact that Warner Brothers just bought an AI system to help them choose which movies they're going to be producing. So
really,
so they could have been using it for years. We don't know, but they've actually announced that they're going to be using this AI system that's going to read scripts and then give them notes on what scripts they think are going to be blockbusters.
Wow, that's interesting.
Well, it seems lazy.
Yeah, it does. I agree with you 100%. I'm still sad that Affleck's gone, though.
Yeah.
I really liked him and how he was portrayed and written. I think the movie was poorly done itself, but I think there's potential that he could have had. So, but again, it's all going to matter on what the movie
I almost bought an Affleck hot toy because I was like going to go all in, and then just things kept crashing out, and I decided
my biggest thing, as long as they can play a good Bruce Wayne and a good Batman, that's and
it comes down to the suit. If we're gonna see an all black suit again, I'm not gonna be in for it.
Yeah, you like
if it's all black, it's gonna have to have some yellow on it or orange or something, like some color to it.
Yeah,
I like the black and gray. I'll take blue and gray, but it really is going to be how it looks at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
completely different subject now. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
For sure.
That's,
I always grew up as a dog person. Become admitted finally that I could be a cat person, and I can't ever imagine not being a cat person now. I am super hardcore cat person.
Nothing wrong with dogs. I'll be honest. I am lazy.
I
don't want to have to walk them. I do my own exercising when I need to exercise.
Yeah.
I don't need a dog to tell me that it's time.
And we're being honest about it.
And that's how it is.
Our cats can be needy enough at times. Especially
I play with
Thor.
them. I wrestle with him every day.
He'll come up. He's like a child. He'll come up and be like, "Dad, you haven't paid attention to me," and he'll just full on maul Mike's back.
Yep.
And he'll kind of pick at him and be like, we were supposed to be wrestling here, guys. What's going on? So it's quite funny. But
what is your favorite word?
My favorite word is fabulous.
Somebody's fabulous.
Yep. That came from Absolutely Fabulous. And that term specifically, I love using it. I am sure I've used it on here many times, but I love the term Absolutely Fabulous from that specifically. So
nice.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I don't know if I have a favorite word.
You have words that you use often?
I like that. Was another one I had a hard time picking. Like, do I have a favorite? But I say balls a lot.
You
balls. Do. Or farts. Yeah. Oh, farts.
Balls, definitely.
Balls.
That one was original. Oh, farts came after Last Man on Earth. Balls has always been there. Yeah.
You've always got balls, Mike. Don't know how to take that.
So are we going to any conventions soon?
We are still debating. I think we're going to go to the Fan Expo in Vancouver in February there.
We keep debating. We are hoping more people were going to be announced by now. But the issue is a few of the people are off sync on days. But we might just end up going just to be able to look around with our different fandoms.
Yeah, because we got a lot more fandoms than we did the last time.
And then not worry so much about the people there because it's expensive.
Yeah.
And
I would
likely,
like to.
I think we'd like to go.
Yeah, I'd like to go because
it's all a long weekend here too, which is helpful.
Yeah, the voice of Vegeta, Piccolo, and All Might, Christopher Sabat will be there. Mm-hmm. So that'd be kind of cool. And Tom Welling's going to be there.
Tom Welling's there. So, but we do know that in our past, voice actors have always been really interesting to meet. So the idea of the voice would be fun.
Yeah, so that would be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll hit this one at least for one of the days.
Yeah.
Do you want to cosplay?
Yes. I mean, it fits right in with our Halloween costumes and our love of that. Mm-hmm. I have so many that I would like to cosplay. I mean, I think of them all the time. Like the idea of SpongeBob and Patrick earlier. Like, seriously, things that would just be hilarious to me. But cosplay, because right now my whole world is enveloped in Sailor Moon. I would love to be a sailor.
I think you should. I think you should figure it out.
Yeah.
It's time to hit that gym.
Well, and you know what? There's a lot of decent looking ones.
In case anyone took it that I was telling Katie to go to the gym.
A lot of decent ones online, actually, that you can find and that come with all the accessories and everything like that.
No, the biggest thing would be which one would you choose?
I know, right? Honestly, it comes down to my hair, right?
I think you'd want Jupiter because you talked about how much you liked her boots.
I do. Like, it's funny when I look at their costumes, right? I'm like, I really like Jupiter's. Her boots are fun, but they're very unique too. Like, when I look at Mars, I could buy red high heels. Yeah. To find green boots would be difficult.
To match the green in the suit, though, too.
Right. I love Sailor Neptune's shoes as well, too. They're like strappy heel things. They're really cool.
So, you can be Sailor Neptune and I'll be Uranus.
Sailor Moon with the like high boots and everything, we know high boots are very difficult to find. So Sailor Mars would definitely be one that I could do because I can buy red high heels anywhere.
Makes sense.
And so there's that. Another one I would really love to do is Black Canary. There's a couple different versions that I would love to do of her. Yeah.
Dead Beans.
Yeah, that one for sure. Like, that would be fantastic. I really do like that one.
Look that up. Ed Beans, back from the Birds of Prey run back in the early, 2000s? Late 90s?
And that was when I would read the Birds of Prey, and I really like that one. But then I also like the new one.
The Rebirth?
Yeah, and with the
Otto
boots.
Schmidt?
Yeah, the Otto Schmidt one. I really like that one. I think it kept that classic look with a new updated and I think that was really cool because a little bit more coverage for her, but it wasn't like she went from wearing something more of a bikini one piece suit to now she's fully high full pants and jacket and everything like they did the Huntress, right? So I think that was interesting, but I really like that one. So what about you?
There's so many characters I would want to do if I could do it, but I'm a stickler for like wanting to do it right, and that's what stops me. I'm like, but I don't got the money to do it.
Well, because for you too, it's more difficult for the material to make you feel like you're wearing something, right?
Also, I have a beard, so that kind of throws a wrench in a lot of characters.
Yeah,
I would love to do a Hawkeye or a Arrow, Green Arrow, not Arrow, like the Rebirth suit from Otto Schmidt. I really like his design for that. I'd love to do a Batman or a Nightwing or like.
Or a Wolverine.
Only if I could have an entire suit, though, like an entire Wolverine suit, not just the tank top and jeans. Like,
yes, I would like the yellow and blue.
Yeah,
suit.
yeah,
that's what I want.
Stuff like that. I think would be fun to do. It's just a matter of figuring it out.
Should pull out your Halloween costume. You can go to the con as the Great Salmon.
Yeah.
That would be really fun, actually.
I should get that ready.
You could just walk around and like stare at people and like salute people as they walk by and be like, I'm here.
Pose.
Yep.
Yeah, actually I could try to do that. I need some white boots though.
I have a month. I got to figure out something fun to wear. I mean, you know what's sad is I don't even have any Sailor Moon like clothing or anything. And it's like
killing
me.
Well, because they're all like unisex t-shirts.
Stuff, and I don't do unisex shirts. I just, every single time I think about it, I'm like, no, you will not wear this. I have very few of them, and you will not. Tank tops are my go-to for
Tank
everything.
tops are your jam.
Yes.
Your collection jam.
My collection jam. So,
if you could be any character, who would you be for a day?
I would be Star Butterfly. Because I have magical narwhal wands. And
Rainbow Sparkle Kittens.
And Spider with a top hat. Cupcake Blast. You know, sparkle tsunamis of things. Yeah.
Pure destruction, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Now, my question is does everything you do stick around?
Because this is his crux for his answer. What benefit in the future do I have from being this character?
So if that is true, that everything you do in that day continues in the future when you revert back to your regular self, I totally want to be Bruce Wayne just so I could go ahead. So I can still go to the Batcave. I can still like goof around and you know, but I could literally just like write some checks and make my life after I'm no longer Bruce Wayne very comfortable.
Set up a foundation.
Yeah. Maybe steal a bat suit. But I still could be Batman because Bruce Wayne is Batman, right? So I got I'm trying to think that one out. I'm trying to think for the complete benefits.
That's awesome.
Okay, so there are many more questions.
Apparently we take longer to answer these than we realize, but there are lots.
So we're gonna this is the last one that we're gonna do today for you. We're gonna tickle your earlobes with this little gem, and then we'll do a part 3 in February or March.
There you go. Yeah, apparently when we were planning this, literally I've just skipped the month of February. It's like I was like, oh yeah, we'll do it next month in March. Wow,
you're way too excited for your birthday.
I know.
So is there a toy from your childhood that you would like back?
I wish I still had my Barbies. I took years to get rid of them in spurts, and I still regret that I have gotten rid of them, and I have zero reason to have kept them. You know, I got rid of them once I realized that I didn't really need to have them around. It wasn't like I had a daughter to pass them on to, but I'm still that was my childhood was my Barbies, and it's a weird thing. I to have them gone, right? But I have so many good memories of them, and I remember all the different clothes I had and all the furniture and everything like that, and I still wish I had them. So what about you?
Do you want the entire list, or do you want just like the Cole's Cliff Note version? All right, where do we count the ways?
Curious.
Where do we count the ways?
The number one group.
The number one. Oh.
Not just like an individual figure.
No, but multiple. There's multiple fandoms.
You're like, all of my toys.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I had all of them.
If I could only choose one.
Gut instinct.
If I could only choose one grouping to come back, it would be all my turtles. All my turtles would be something I would love to have back. Because some of those original Playmates toys were just amazing. All the different weird things like the Hockey Leo and the Universal Monsters, Leonardo and like all those things, right? Like, yeah, they're so fantastic. The things that they did with that Playmates Ninja Turtle line, from the animated ones to the ones that were weird mutants, the Ray Fillet and the Muckman and Mondo Gecko and all that, like they were just gnarly crafted figures that you don't get that now in a kid's line. They had good paint. They didn't really have stickers. They were painted and they were sculpted with tooling. They were and they had articulation that was fun, and there wasn't too many that had action features, right? Yeah. I don't
know, my football throwing Leo.
That way I had action features. Yeah, well, that was later on. But those were some of my favorite toys that I ever had, and I wish that I had those all back. And they were so hard to get. Yeah. That's why NECA is doing a great job with their animated line, which is pretty cool. So I hope to score some of those. But I'm gonna give you like a speed list of all the different brands that I wish I still had.
There's more. Okay.
So He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, the real Ghostbusters, the Batman the Animated Series, X-Men the Animated Series, Spider-Man the Animated Series, Star Wars.
So all of them. Okay.
I would like to have my Gargoyles back. I would like to have my Biker Mice from Mars back. I had Biker Mice from Mars. I had the three heroes on the bikes, and those things were the coolest things ever.
Nice.
I didn't really have any bad guys, so I just had the Biker Mice from Mars, but those ones were really dope. Rob Paulson was in that too, so that made it even more awesome. I would also like to see I'm going to forget it now. I had it, and then I started going, the Toxic Crusader. The Toxic Crusader toys back, because those are the weirdest toys ever.
Things are so bizarre.
And I think that's
what's interesting? I had the list.
Well, Power Rangers, I did do that too.
The list of them, though, like your He-Man and your He-Man was out of all of those.
Yeah,
was the first thing that you tried really hard to replace.
Yeah.
So to me, knowing you, He-Man was like a special scar on your childhood of losing out on those toys, right? And so we spent years collecting those, and then the Turtles now over years have been collected as much as you possibly can for them, so it's interesting to see those ones that you list that I know you have tried to replace as an adult, and then ones where you just have a nostalgia for them, right?
There's some that I would just love to see, like if someone did a line and brought some of those characters out, then it'd be amazing. Mezco is celebrating their 20th anniversary coming up here, and I just want to see their 112 line expanded to some weird properties. I would love to see a Mezco 112 the Tick, they do that Popeye.
That would
Popeye
be really
is
cool.
amazing. Or anyway, why can't they get Biker Mice from Mars or the Toxic Crusader? Or, some of those ones like that. So,
what's interesting? I'm trying to think, when you were talking about that, I'm like, okay, so my Barbies were number one. They were my number one toy. One of my favorite things I remember I got for my birthday was one of those horses that walked. And it did actually walk. It was phenomenal. Yeah. But I used to have I had an RV and I had the Jeep thing and all of that. My RV was fantastic because it would fold out and everything like that. It was this huge ghastly pink thing. It was great. But I was trying to think of other toys that I had, and I played a lot with Legos, but they were my brothers, and we played with Kinects, which were awesome. But I was trying to think of other girl toys that I had, and I had a lot of Polly Pockets, and I had a lot of My Littlest Pet Shop.
Okay.
And I loved My Littlest Pet Shop because they're so different than they are now too. And it's such a weird concept, but they looked so much more like real animals back then. And I had the whole display case that looked like a pet shop.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was really cool because then you would open it up and they each had their individual compartments, and then you could store all of them in there. But the different magnets, and you'd make them be able to eat food and chase things around and everything like that. And then of course they would get mixed in. The Barbies had them as pets and everything like that. But I remember those ones, that would be really fun to have. But I had hand-me-downs of My Little Pony and the Strawberry Shortcake were my sisters, but a lot of it was my Barbie stuff. And I miss, because I had all the different ages of them too, right? Yeah. I had so many different Kens and of different variations of them, and without real hair, because the Kens with real hair freak me out. But all the different ages. I had the babies and the toddlers and the teenager, tween type ones, and all the different things, right? My favorite were the two girls. They were maybe 12, 13 feel, and they were gymnast ones. And their name was Stacy and Chelsea. One was high bars and one was balance beam. Yeah. And they were kind of like my yoga, the Barbie I have now. Yeah. Super articulated because they were gymnasts, and they came with wrist grips. And so you could hook her hand onto the bar and you could swing her around and be a gymnast. That was really cool. That was a fun feature, right? So, nice. But it's sad that they don't offer just basic Barbies anymore. Yeah. It's so hard to find that, right? So sorry, I just had a moment to actually reminisce about childhood toys for a second there. So
well, also too, when I say all of the Turtles I had the most of because they were the cheapest toy ever. Yeah. When I was growing up. But when I say all of the Toxic Crusaders, I had one figure. I had the Toxic Crusader. I had the No Zone guy. That was all I had. And when I say all my X-Men, it was it
was just the key ones. It was the fandom of
it was I had Wolverine and Cyclops and Nightcrawler and Gambit and Beast, I think. Yeah, right. So I only had 5 of these things. It was not I'm saying I had 100 of.
Oh, it was the He-Man was the ones.
He-Man I had the most of, yeah. And then Batman and Turtles. Those were the ones I had the most of.
But it's fun, thinking about that type of stuff.
Well, I see so many Instagram accounts have the people that collect the old stuff, and you see all those things, and it just floods you with so much nostalgia, right? Yeah. So
But this has been fun.
But yeah, thank you again for all your questions. I love getting questions from listeners. We have many more to go, so hopefully we'll do a part 3 for you.
Yeah.
When we get some downtime. So thank you again for listening. Stay rad, and
thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!